A very good evening from the John Jenkins Stadium as AFC Bournemouth begin their defence of their FA Women's National League Cup title against Moneyfields. It was a historic year for Helen Blazard's side as the Cherries beat Plymouth in the final, a cup run that saw not a single goal conceded. They haven't actually conceded a goal in this competition for almost 2 years. In fact, it's 2 years tomorrow, and that came against tonight's opponents, Moneyfields, in a 4-3 defeat. Of course, Cherries went out of the competition into the National League Plate and then ended up winning that against Cheltenham Town. You're watching this live stream on AFCB TV with ESET. My name is Tom Murray, and let's take a look at the teams for this evening. For the Cherries, it is a very youthful starting 11 with Izzy Bryant and Kira Robertson, the oldest players out there at 23. Robertson also captains the side. Clarabella Hall starts up top alongside Tia Young, who'll be hoping to continue her goal scoring form after netting in the 2-1 win over Cheltenham at the weekend. And there's plenty of experience on the bench should they need it, with Jenna Markham, Katie James and Abby Jones among the substitutes. So it's 9 changes from Cheltenham. For Moneyfields, they go strong with just 3 changes from the 5-1 wing over Abingdon United. Britt Gill, Cherise Henry and Sophie Phelps come into the side, which contains former Southampton midfielder Sophia Farah alongside the ever-present left-back Olivia Venditto, who has already netted twice this campaign. On the bench, number 9, Kaylee Buckingham is one to look out for with a couple of goals scored already this season. Their captain this evening for this 8 o'clock kickoff is number 11, Kira Heslem. We're just waiting for the game to kick off at the John Jenkins Stadium. The Moneyfields based in Portsmouth. Of course, Cherries almost going 2 years without conceding in this competition. Netted 21 times in 8 games since that defeat at the very end of extra time 2 years ago tomorrow. They'll be hoping that they'll be able to start their title defence with a win. Of course, this is the new format of the FA Women's National League Cup, as was brought in last campaign. There's now a group stage to negotiate before the knockout stages can begin. So of course beat Plymouth 1-0 in the final at Loftus Road last season. That Kenny Thompson scoring the winner. They beat West Brom, Swindon, Exeter and QPR in the knockout stage. They did face Moneyfields in the group stage last time out, winning 2-0 with Sophie Quirk getting a double in that one. So it's going to be Moneyfields who are going to get us underway. It's fairly balmy late August evening. I was playing on the artificial pitch, and it's quite a quirky stadium. It's got the railway line at the far end to the right, and hopefully there'll be no balls that get punctured by going on the line in behind, as we are underway. And already there's a bit of a tussle in the middle, and Robertson, who's captaining the side, has managed to receive the ball just top of the centre circle. Hammock out on this left hand side, just trying to work a chance down the left channel. They might just have to usher that one back, and the clearance is made by Mia King up towards halfway already. Something for Scarlett Williams to think about. She's given away a foul inside the first 45 seconds. So it's going to be a free kick for Moneyfields, and a good opportunity for them to swing the ball into the box and give the Cherries defence something to think about. So the full teams, it's Ella Stoll in goal, Mia Hammock, Scarlett Williams, Isla Betts and Anya Lucas across the back four for the Cherries. Elena Cole, Kyra Robertson, Izzy Bryant, Tia Young, Tilly Westcott and Clarabella Hall. As Moneyfields go long, and across comes Williams just to try and shepherd the ball out. Tierney Scott just going pace for pace, already got a goal so far this season. Tierney Scott actually was signed for tonight's hosts after scoring a hat-trick versus them for Worthing. And the then manager Carl Watson decided that you can't beat him, join him. Tierney Scott is now donning the yellow and blue of Moneyfields. It just goes out of play for a Cherries throw on that far side, which Tia Young just goes to gather. Robertson has come short. It's gone to Moneyfields player as Annabella Hall just trying to keep it in black and red possession. Free kick given, and that goes the way of the Cherries. A 2-1 win against Cheltenham last time out. Izzy Watson, Tia Young on the score sheet in that one. It's been a winning start to the season for Helen Brazard's side, with the opening game a 1-0 win at AFC Wimbledon. Jenna Markham on the score sheet. She's on the bench this evening. Good run towards the edge of the box, decent little layoff down that left-hand side, but Young is quick off her line to gather that just as that attack for the Cherries was just gaining some momentum. The 21-year-old joined last season from Charlton. Cole. On the feet of Lucas. Williams. 22-year-old who joined after leaving Real Bedford. Came through the Spurs Academy, did Scarlett Williams, who starts tonight. Scott dragged down, but no free kick given. It's still in Moneyfields' possession, but that's a nice little pick of the pocket by Tilly Westcott, and the Cherries have it back in possession with Williams. Not the cleanest of opening 4 minutes in this game, but that's quick feet, nice little shimmy down that right-hand side. Hall loses out that time as Moneyfields just try and bring it away. This is a strong side for the hosts, only 3 changes made from their 5-1 thrashing of Abingdon United at the weekend. They've also had a winning start to their season in the National League Division 1 South West, winning their opening game 4-0 at Maidenhead United. Lucas. Bit of a loose ball, and Moneyfields will just try and get an attack going. They instead go backwards. It's gone out of play on that far side, and just shy of 5 minutes gone in this FA Women's National League Cup opening group stage fixture, and no chances of note. Bryant. Bit of a tussle there in the middle. Amber Howden wins out, but her pass is intercepted, and Cherries just can't quite make that stick up at the top. Izzy Bryant there, the number 7. Then ditto. Nicely turned around the corner there by Cole. Williams again just taking that extra touch, moving gracefully forward, and now here come Cherries down the right hand side. This one closed down by is Tia Young. Just trying to get on the end of that ball. 6 minutes gone. Goalless. Cole. Out to Betts, her pass intercepted, and Scott will try and win this high up the pitch, but again, Scarlett comes away with it. Play by Scarlett Williams, although that's been intercepted. Hammock is just slightly out of position. Here comes Vendito down that right-hand side. Already got 2 goals to her name this season. That's a nice little pass around the corner, and here comes Izzy Bryant. Chance really for Cherries to try and open up this Moneyfields defence. Can they get a shot away on the edge of the box? Nice little turn. Betts shimming it around Bryant, and in the end, easy catch for Mia King. But the first time that the Cherries have just been able to have the ball in a dangerous area. Bryant getting on the end of that one, whether it was a cross or with a shot. Either way, it's the first real moment of note in the opening exchanges here. Of course, Cherries and Moneyfields in the same group. This is now the second season that the restructuring of the competition with a group stage. They will be alongside the Southampton Academy and Bournemouth Sports FC. Moneyfields just trying to break away, but again, Lucas intercepting, and here comes Williams. Just trying to make it stick. Betts. Cole. Kept in by Lucas that time. Young just trying to combine. Hits the deck, no free kick given, but it doesn't matter because it's gone out of play for a throw to Moneyfields, who are so close to a sensational season last year. Finished second in the division, losing out on the National League Division 1 Southwest title on the final day of the season, winning 19 out of 22 matches, scoring 86 goals in that time, their best ever return in the National League. Only conceded 13 goals as well, the joint fewest with Swindon, and then, well, losing to Norwich City in the promotion playoffs, drawing 2-2 before losing 6-5 in a penalty shootout. Then after being knocked out of this competition and going into the plate, losing to Cheadle Stingers again in the final. Cherries were victorious in 2025 in the final of the National League Plate, beating Cheltenham at the Oxford City Stadium. Able to go one better last season, and current title holders of this competition, and just trying to begin that defence with 3 points on opening day. Syrian's ball forward, just miscontrolled. Hammock will have a chance to bonus into an attacking area for the Cherries, who so far haven't troubled Mia King. It's only taken 11.5 minutes and the first ball has gone out of the ground. Not in the train line though this time. It's just managed to stay in play, and Cherries will have it with Lucas. Williams. Can Helen Blazard's side just fashion an opening chance? That's a lovely turn by Williams, who's already looked incredibly technically gifted in the opening exchanges. Westcott. And here comes Young. Nice idea, but deflection of the defender, just taking all of the bite out of that and going straight into the hands of Mia King. Lucas almost just getting herself into a spot of bother there, was being closed down by Bendito. Tonks losing out, and Cherries can't quite capitalise, although Westcott just getting in a little bit of a tussle there with Phelps, and here come Moneyfields, their first opportunity to try and break forward, but a little bit too much pace on that one, and Bendito's just not able to keep that one in play. Someone that Mia Hampick is going to have to keep an eye on throughout this game. Olivia Bendito can operate on both sides of the defence, and as a good defender, it's just her attacking prowess is something that opposition teams just haven't quite kept on top of, especially last campaign, as goes out of play for a throw on that far side. Bendito actually recently duped the Cherries, Alex Scott and Ryan Christie, in one of the Sky Sports Pick the Pro episodes, so a little bit of a Cherries connection there. Olivia Bendito is yet to have the first real shot in anger in this game, just shy of 15 minutes gone. This youthful Cherries starting 11. There is of course experience on the bench should Helen Blazard feel that she needs to just inject a little bit of life into the game. The likes of Jenna Markham, Katie James, Tamara Wilcox, Charlotte Harris are all there to be picked just in case. It was a fairly decent battle between these two sides, and with Moneyfields going fairly strong, it's certainly a good test for the youngsters out there for the Cherries. Still goalless. 15 minutes on the clock. Young. Lucas, nice little side step of Bendito, and they just got out of a spot of bother there as Robertson was almost left a little bit of a hospital pass, but Young also gets herself out of a cul-de-sac, and Ella Stoll has got a chance with the ball at her feet to starting in place of Katie Scadding after leaving Bristol City. Comes from quite a football-rich family, does Ella Stoll, with her dad was a former keeper for Wolverhampton Wanderers, notched up over 400 appearances for Wolves, whilst her mum Rachel got 14 England caps to her name. As Cherries go over the top, and this might be the first chance to really get in behind and break the deadlock, and that's a decent stop there from Mia King. Lovely pass with the outside of the boot over the top, and Clarabella Hall went pace for pace with Sophie Phelps and just managed to poke the ball goalwards, but in the end Mia King made herself big and did well to prevent Cherries from taking the lead. It's now Moneyfields trying to string a couple of passes together as Tierney Scott just has the ball taken from her, and in doing so has committed a foul, and that will mean any panic in the Cherries defence is over. 17.5 minutes gone, live on AFCB TV with ESET in this FA Women's National League Cup opening group stage match between Moneyfields and the Cherries. Of course, Cherries winning the competition last year and hoping to do so again this season. Haven't conceded a goal in this competition for almost 2 years. That anniversary is tomorrow, but that record might just be put under a little bit of pressure as Moneyfields just try and play it forward, but Stoll has come out of the goal very quickly and like that all out of play for Dream Surin to get things back underway. Came through the Southampton Academy, can also play in midfield, can Surin. Anya Lucas. Also captain the Saints under-21 side before making the move. Here's Hall. Just trying to pick out a pass on the edge of the box. Betts is going to go down, and this will be a chance for the Cherries, about 30 yards from goal. Decent opportunity as she's taken a knock at the same time as Isla Betts. They came close just moments ago through Clarabella Hall, did the Cherries, to breaking the deadlock, and they're going to have another opportunity. This time from a set piece position. No Molly Barron-Clark to take this. This would be right in her area. Just going to have a stoppage in play whilst we get some treatment. 19 minutes gone, goalless between Moneyfields and Bournemouth. Match where chances have been few and far between. But the best moment of the game was after a decent ball over the top by Anya Lucas set Clarabella Hall away. Sophie Phelps did well just to keep up pace to pace. It's the first time that Mia King's really been called into action, and she's done really well. Cherries will be hoping at the very least to test her from this position, as we're still getting some treatment. Of course, there are options on the bench with Abby Jones, Freya Meadows-Towson. It's going to be number 14, Katie James, who is going to be coming onto the pitch. So, 6th season since joining from Pompey, the Poole-born midfielder. I think that Helen Blazard was hoping to have to call on the cavalry as soon as 20 minutes in, but with an injury it's unfortunately necessary. Maybe something that Cherries can really benefit from. Not managed to quite keep possession in the middle of the park. It's been a bit scrappy, so maybe the level head of Katie James will just allow them to take control, as that is going to unfortunately be the end of the road for Isla Betts in this game. Katie James just receiving her instructions. Just a little pat on the back and she gets ready to enter the fray. 22 minutes gone, just approaching the halfway point of the first half. In a game that hasn't been a great deal to shout about, but this is a good opportunity to have a strike on goal. Looks like it's Mia Hammock who's going to be having a go with her left foot, about 30 yards from goal. Here's going to be Hammock. And that's a terrific stop. What an effort that was. Well, we hoped from, at the very least, that Mia King was going to be called into action. And that is a sensational stop, right in the postage stamp. Cherries will have the first corner of the game, but really, Mia Hammock will be wondering just how that hasn't nestled in the top corner. It's right where the Spiders live, right in that top corner, but can Cherries capitalise from the set piece? They can't. And Cherise Henry isn't quite able to keep the ball in play, so it is going to be a throw to AFC Bournemouth. Mia Hammock is going to have to be wondering what more she can do. Absolutely perfect placement for the free kick. Quite a fair distance out as well. I'm sure Mia King's going to be, whatever happens in this game, be telling friends and family just about that one, and certainly one for the cameras, that's for sure. Tia Young on to Williams, who's just closed down, and Scott will try and get the ball forward, and across comes Lucas, and that's a bit of a tussle there with Kira Heslem, the Moneyfields captain, and free kick goes Cherries' way. 24 minutes gone, and so close to breaking the deadlock there. Hammock. And Dito to Scott. And Cherries win it back, and now they've got a break. Here's Bryant, here is Hammock. She wants a goal to her name, but doesn't get the effort right that time. Just skews that one over the bar. Nice play from Cherries just to win the ball back high off the pitch. Decent pass from Bryant, and then Hammock just didn't get the connection she wanted. Mia King looked like she had that near post covered. Here she is with the ball. King, as Moneyfields try and fashion a chance of their own, but not the greatest connection. First touch for Katie James. It's one that she's going to want to forget quickly, as Moneyfields haven't tested the Bournemouth backline completely yet, as the Cherries are just starting to inject a little bit of pace into their play. Lucas now already with one really good ball over the top in search of Paul. Finds Hammock that time, heavy touch, and he's going to come back to the red and black. Hammock, it's a nice pass to Bryant. Picks out the cross, and it's just scooped away by Moneyfields' defender, and it actually hits the corner flag. You don't see that very often. Always fairly humorous when all the players stop as they wait for the ball to go out of play. Then it suddenly hits the corner flag, and immediately everyone just darts towards it, as Cherries claim they want their second corner of the game. It's not going to go their way. Moneyfields go short. Try of a goal or two, already scored 9 this season, but yet to force Ella Stoll into big save to make. But here comes Surin. She might have a save to make if this attack is anything to go by. Vendito tries to win the corner. Hammock does really well just to nip that attack in the bud, but they will have a throw to deal with. Surin has got Vendito short, attacking the train line end. And Scott hits the deck, and Hammock is just going to let that go out of play, and she does. Danger over for the Cherries. 27.5 minutes gone, live on AFCB TV. Apart from a sensational stop from a Mia Hammock free kick by Mia King, there's not been a great deal to write home about. Hammock. Easy pickings for King as a train just goes past behind the Cherries goal. There's been more trains going past than shots on target that end, so that's your quirky stat of the opening 28 minutes, and that kind of just explains how this first part of this match has gone. Williams up towards halfway. Katie James knocks it back. Of course, she's just had to come on in place of Isla Betts, who wasn't able to continue after being on the end of a fairly robust challenge on the edge of the Money's box, as Bryant just can't quite get the ball out of her feet, and Hall there as well, who's had Bournemouth's other best chance. Well won in the middle, Hammock. Hall and Howden just a bit of a battle down by that corner flag, as Howden, who ends up leaving a firm challenge in, but it is going to be a Cherries throw. Decent position, deep in Moneyfields territory. Hall just trying to use that frame to keep possession, but again it's Moneyfields who come away with it. Westcott, and the offside flag goes up. Half an hour gone. Nothing to separate the two sides in what is Helen Blezard's beginning of her second full season. Was appointed back in September of last year after announcing her retirement. One of the most decorated players in AFC Bournemouth history, finishing her career having guided Cherries to the third division. Of course, finished third in the league in the first season of coaching, also winning this competition last year. He has won 16 out of 24 league games in charge. Robertson and Williams, who is really lively so far in the heart of the Cherries defence, very mobile as well, not shy to take on a player as Vendito. Just makes another foray forward, made a couple in the last 5 minutes or so. Ball into the area, something for Bournemouth to think about. Surin. Geel. Decent feet, but well tracked by Anya Lucas just to stop that cross from coming in, but quick to action stations. Sophia Farah. And that really is the first time that Emma Stoll has been called into action with her hands. It's not a shot on target. It's the first time that Moneyfields has been able to really whip a meaningful ball into the penalty area. Coming from the boots of Sophia Farah, joined in 2025 after leaving Southampton, where she'd spent her entire career. Also been part of the Lionesses' youth is Hammock. Tries to pick out Hall with that pass, but intercepted, and Heslin will get it clear in search of Cherries Henry, signed back in July from Southampton FC Women PGA. Hall. Just a bit short for Katie James there. Really was a fairly decent first season in coaching for Helen Blezard. Just finished 7 points behind eventual champions Watford, but they did get that 4-2 win at Vicarage Road on the final day. And conceded 20 goals last season. Only Plymouth Argyle conceded fewer, but they finished below the Cherries and conceded just 11, which is quite remarkable. Of course, that defeat at Oxford United in February brought an end to that 1,081 day unbeaten streak. Westcott, ball into the area, trying to find the Cherries attack, and that's gone over the bar. Nice interchange of play. Westcott, bouncing effort, just got underneath that one, but Cherries just starting to fashion a few chances in quick succession. Just haven't managed to break the deadlock yet, as Stowell comes out of her goal quite far. Decent touch in the middle there from Becca Tonks, but then she loses it, and here comes Bryant. You feel like they're not too far away from an opening goal. Young with the pass into the box, and Hall's header looked like it was going wide, and then the deflection almost takes it straight into the back of the net. It wouldn't have counted anyway. Surin it was who just tried to dig out a clearance and just smashed it into the legs of Tilly Westcott. The game sort of needs a goal like that. They just need it to go off of any limb, as it were, but the offside flag just ruining the party there as Scarlett Williams has it yet again. To look really composed in the centre of that defence as Cherries try and build once more from the back. Cole. Not too much on that one. Out of play for a goal kick as we enter the final 10 minutes of normal time in this opening first half of the FA Women's National League Cup title defence for the Cherries. Have already had a bit of a stoppage for Isla Betts, who only lasted about 20 minutes of the game before having to go off injured. Katie James came on in her place. Of course, this is the group stage, so there won't be any extra time and penalties should this game remain goalless, which, the way this first half has gone, wouldn't be the most surprising thing in the world, although here's a chance for Tierney Scott to try and break away, and she gets a shot on goal. It's going to dip over the goalkeeper, and that is a fantastic strike. Tierney Scott from about 35 yards out. Ella Stoll completely caught off her line. It's almost been 2 years since the Cherries have conceded a goal in this competition, and that is some way to end that run. Fully 30 yards out, goalkeeper fully off her line, and Tierney Scott gets her second goal of the season with an outrageous strike. Moneyfields lead by a goal to nil. Cherries are going to have to come from behind. They do have options on the bench. Jenna Markham, the number 9, one to who potentially may have to come on. Is a youthful Cherries starting 11, that's for sure, with Laura Robertson and Izzy Bryant. They're the veterans of the starting 11 at just 23 years of age. It's the first shot on goal that Moneyfields have had. It's a spectacular effort. To be honest, it's something this game has needed. This will inject a little bit of life into it. Moneyfields have got something to defend. Cherries have got something to chase. Here is the goal scorer, Scott. Saying earlier how Mia King, Moneyfields' keeper, will be wanting to watch the replay of her spectacular save from Mia Hammock's left-footed free kick over and over again. Not sure Tierney Scott's going to score many better in her career. Moneyfields lead by a 1-0. Ends an 8-game streak in this competition of no goals conceded for the Cherries, and you'd have to say if they were going to concede, it was going to be something scrappy or maybe just a sheer moment of quality, and that's exactly what it has been, as Moneyfields are getting forward in search of a second. And that was just slightly ahead of Britt Gill. Sophia Farah was racing in as well. Cherries just have got to be careful as they approach half-time. Moneyfields, well, they'll certainly have a bit of confidence, a bit of joy injected into their play. They haven't seen much of the ball, but Scott has won it once again. She's not going to have a go from that far out as it almost goes through to Farah. You can tell that Cherries have just been slightly shocked by that goal, but here's Young, and she's got a bit of space to get down that right-hand side. Ball into the area, almost falls to Bryant. And then that's not the best clearance in the world, as Williams has just got to mop things up as Hammock tries to keep it away from a yellow shirt. But Moneyfields now really confident in their play. And Clarabelle Hall just gets nutmegged there as Amber Howden knocks it out towards Henry on that far side. Coming forward again, they've managed to create a couple of decent opportunities since taking the lead. Farah. And that's hit the referee, and fortunately for Bournemouth, it just takes a little sting out of the game. They're able to recoup in defence as we just tick over into the final 5 minutes of normal time in this first half. It is going to be a Moneyfields ball. Henry. Managed to get in behind, and Bournemouth have got some defending to do. Deflection there, just taking the sting out of it. And Ella Stoll will be really quite grateful. 3 or 4 yards off of her line, that's what's really caught her out after Tierney Scott decided just to go for goal from range. Lucas. Again, trying to dig that ball through to Hall like she did in the opening exchanges. Hammock tries to poke it through to Hall, but Moneyfields are good at just ushering, getting it back to their keeper. Phelps in search of Scott, who just playing that target forward role to a T at the moment. Second goal of her season. Williams. Offside flag goes up as Cherries just trying to break through the right-hand side with Bryant. It's not been necessarily a poor performance from the Cherries. Its chances have been few and far between, but they've just been really caught out by the audacious effort of Tierney Scott. which was Moneyfields' first effort of the game. James almost able to collect the ball on the edge of the penalty area. And opposite number 14, Sophia Farrett, silky in just getting that away from danger as they go forward once again. Henry as well to keep it in play away from Young. Knocking the ball around with a bit more fizz on Moneyfields, as Westcott is just adjudged to have been a bit too strong in the challenge there with Becca Tonks. Over 100 appearances for Money, scored in the 3rd minute against Abingdon at the weekend. Set them on their way to that 5-1 victory. It's going to be Amber Howden to take this one for the hosts. Search down that left-hand side. The bounce of the ball has actually been kind. Into the area it goes. They can't quite get it away. Chance for a second goal. And they've done really well through Williams just to close down the angle. They want a corner. Henry's going to keep it alive down this left-hand side. They do get the ball into the box and out comes Sterrell. The Cherries will try and fashion a chance themselves before we have the half-time whistle, but they've lost out, and here comes Scott. Closed down by Hammock. Now is Hall, and she's got a player through the middle. Bryant, and it's just too far ahead of the number 7. Otherwise that would have been a clear one-on-one situation. It's just that final ball that has evaded the Cherries so far. Of course, they do have plenty of time. They've already had to call on one of the cavalry and Katie James, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Jenna Markham come on in the second half as Young. Can they get an equaliser? It's off the back of Henry, and Howden gets it clear. Again, Scott, well tackled by Williams, but only comes back to Sophia Farrett. So far in this game has shown that she's played at a higher level. She's looked really composed in the middle of the park, has shown that low centre of gravity, which has allowed her to turn direction really quickly. Final few seconds of normal time. Imagine there would be a little bit of stoppage for the injury to Isla Betts in the midway point. It's Moneyfields who have the lead, but Cherries hoping to do something about that before half-time. They have it in possession in the middle of the park. Robertson. The two number 8s go head-to-head. Back to Lucas, although free kick has been given, so chance for Cherries to get the ball in the box. They've gone short instead. Lucas, Hall, trying to turn the defender on the edge of the area, just can't trap the ball that time. Britt Gill gets a fortuitous deflection off Tia Young and just puts Mia King in a spot of bother. They've done really well though to play themselves out of danger. Moneyfields as Surin up towards Scott. Nice flick on. Farah doesn't have a lot of options ahead of her. Tonks. Henry. They'll be more than happy just to keep the ball on Moneyfields and just protect their 1-0 advantage. Although they have just given that straight back to the Cherries. Is there enough time for them just to sting the gloves at least of Mia King before this half is out? Westcott. Now here comes Hammock, who's had arguably the best Cherries chance of the game. A sensational free kick that brought out an even better save from the Money's number 1. Certainly one you want to watch back, especially if you're a part of the GK Union, that's for sure. Lucas. Westcott not able to turn on the edge of the area. It's going to come back though, although Scott just doing really well just to hold the ball up, and that's a decent challenge, and just getting a little bit scrappy in the middle. This is the final moments of this first half as Williams just turns away from danger. Lucas. Westcott is shoved to the ground, so that is going to be another chance for Bournemouth just to get the ball into the area. They decide to go short once more. Williams. James. I can imagine this might be it for the first half. Hammock up against Surin, who wins the physical duel, but it does go out for a throw. Robertson just trying to win the ball on the edge of the area. Pinball at the moment. James keeps things alive. Nice little poke out by Robertson, but there was no player down that left-hand side to get on the end of that pass. So Moneyfields just try and keep the ball away from their area. James with a strong tackle in the middle. It's a fair one. Good feet. Just doesn't get the ball through defence, but Bournemouth almost fashion another chance. It is again just that final ball. Williams. 3 additional minutes have been played. Bournemouth just can't find the right ball through the Money's defence at the moment. Their best chance has come from a Lucas ball over the top, which Hall ran onto and forced a decent stop by Mia King, but then she went one better, did the Money's keeper, and a 30-yard free kick from Mia Hammock was somehow clawed out of the top left-hand corner. And whilst it's been spectacular at one end, it's sensational at the other from Tierney Scott, who has the game's only goal so far. A looping effort from 30 yards, catching Cherries stopper Ella Stowell completely off guard. Absolute no man's land as Scott loses the ball. It's going to be a free kick to Moneys. 4 minutes have been played. I imagine there'll be much more, but there's certainly things for Helen Blezard to think about as Moneys do go long. They might just win that in a dangerous area. In fact, right at the end of this half, Cherries have got a corner to contend with. It's the first one for Moneyfields. Are they going to have enough time to take it? Yes, as the referee, as Kira Haslam, the Money captain, comes over to take this one. It would be a real... At the moment, this game is salvageable for the Cherries. They've certainly got the firepower on the bench to use if necessary. If Moneyfields were to double their lead, then that becomes an even more difficult task. They've gone short. Haslam with the ball towards the far post, header towards goal, and that's gone in! And I think it might be an own goal. It's Clarabella Hall who's just been lifted up from her haunches and consoled by her teammates. Curse of the commentator right at the end of this first half. Moneyfields have doubled their lead. We'll be back in around 10 to 15 minutes time, hopefully for a Cherries comeback, but in the meantime, here's a pick of the best action of the first half. Welcome back to the John Jenkins Stadium, where at half-time in the FA Women's National League Cup it is Moneyfields 2, AFC Bournemouth 0. The Cherries actually came out a good few minutes early than their hosts at half-time. As you can see, they're currently in a huddle in the centre circle as they look to turn this around. It's been 2 years since they'd last conceded a goal in this competition, and it was, well, twice just before half-time. The best goal of the game coming from Tierney Scott, shooting from a good 30 yards and catching Ella Stowell off her line. Right on the brink of half-time, a corner kick from Kira Haslam just ricocheted off the head of Clarabella Hall into the back of the net for an own goal for the Cherries number 16. It's going to have to be quite the team talk by head coach Helen Blazard if they're going to turn this around. They do have options off the bench. Doesn't look like there have been any changes at half-time, so it's Ella Stowell in goal, of course making her competitive debut for the club. Mia Hammock, Scarlett Williams, Anya Lucas across the back. Katie James has had to come on in the place of Isla Betts, who started the game, but as you may have seen on the stream, was limping across the pitch in a protective boot. She had to come off injured. Elena Cole and Kyra Robertson also making her first competitive start. Izzy Bryant, Tia Young, Tilly Westcott and Clarabella Hall. And the others in the Cherry side this evening. Moneyfields, of course, they're hoping to hold on for what would be a famous victory. They brought on number 9, Kaylee Buckingham. Only 2 goals so far this season for Buckingham. Both of those coming in the opening day 4-0 win at Maidenhead United. We are underway in the second half. Katie James with the first ball over the top, which is going to be left by Dream Surin. Cherries did have a couple of chances of themselves in the first half. Really the ones of note, Clarabella Hall had a chance to actually put herself on the score sheet at the right end after being put through over the top by Anya Lucas, but her right-footed effort was well stopped by Mia King, who then, well, produced quite an extraordinary save to stop Mia Hammock's 25-yard free kick, finding its way into the top corner. It was right in that postage stamp. Would have been a remarkable goal, but it was a really quite sensational save as Young tries to keep the ball in play down that far side. Wins a corner for the Cherries, their second of the game. Now, the last time a set piece was from this corner of the pitch, it ended up in the back of the net right on half-time for Moneyfields to double their lead. An own goal by Clarabella Hall. Hopefully she'll be wanting to get on the end of this out-swinging right-footed corner. 46.5 minutes gone, in towards the front post, and I don't think the ball has actually even gone in play. It's gone out of play for a goal kick, so disappointing start of this second half there from the first set piece for the second 45 for the Cherries. They do have firepower on the bench in Jenna Markham as they win the ball high up the pitch. They just need to get themselves back on the score sheet, half the deficit. Izzy Bryant was the target there in the middle, but claimed by King. 21-year-old who joined last season from Charlton. This is her third start of the season, as Stowell just has to come well out of her box just to collect that one. Kira Haslam, who's captaining the Moneyfield side. And they lose it out in the middle to Westcott. No foul has been given. Tonks now in possession. Sophia Farah. Despite the first part of her career at Southampton before making the move to Moneyfields. Was part of the Lionesses youth squad as well. in and amongst the England team and youth level. Already shown in the first half with that deftness of touch. She's played at a higher level as no foul is given, and Moneyfields are chasing themselves a third. Williams, who's really shone at the back for Bournemouth, getting an important touch that time, and this time Kyra Robertson just needs to get that one out of danger, and Mia Hammock gets it up towards halfway. Hall tries to just turn her defender and wins a free kick in the process. Striker who joined from Cheltenham. – 17 goals and assists in 21 appearances for the Robinesses. Fortunately for her, her goal involvement in this game has been at the wrong end of the pitch. That's what doubled Moneyfields' lead. Cherries trying to get back into this. Of course, they are the holders of the Women's National League Cup. Two seasons of successive silverware as they win yet another corner. Hopefully better delivery on this one this time. The National League plate against Cheltenham in 2025 and then beating Plymouth in the final of this competition last season. Didn't concede a goal in that winning run. Knocked out the likes of West Brom, Swindon, Exeter and QPR in the knockout stages. Looking for a goal to get themselves back into this game. All the way through to Hammock. Vendito intercepts as Buckingham just tries to shadow this move as Vendito just goes into the midfield. She's moving to be able to play across the defence and in attacking positions. Surin Vendito on that right hand side. Moneyfields just winning territory up that right channel. Buckingham's come on in place of Tierney Scott, the goal scorer for Moneys. As they search for a third. A lovely turn by Farrow on the edge of the area. Buckingham lays it off. Heslem, she'll have a go from goal and awkward bounce, but nothing really that Mia King was going to be completely troubled by as Williams tries to bring this away for the Cherries. As they come through with Bryant, the flag has stayed down and now it has gone up. Just for a moment there, Izzy Bryant thought that she was going to be racing through on goal, but young forward who joined from Real Bedford with 13 goals and 27 appearances last season, not given the opportunity to try and net her first strike of this campaign. Moneyfields just trying to turn it round the corner. Williams now in a little bit of a foot race there with Britt Gill. They do come away with it to the Cherries. Hammock wins the throat. Farah. John Jenkins Stadium now bathed in floodlights as the summer nights unfortunately start to draw in a little bit. It's darker a lot sooner nowadays. I'm sure the playing conditions will be a lot more favourable than if they were a couple of weeks ago with the searing heat that's been felt across the south coast especially. The Cherries themselves need to turn up the heat in this game if they're going to get anything out of it, as Heslem just trying to find Buckingham as Williams just yet again chaperoning the defence and keeping that Cherries high line intact. Here come Bournemouth. Over the top they go. A little bit of a foot race just through there, but it goes all the way through to Mia King, who since that free kick from Mia Hammock in the first half really had to muddy her gloves. Through on goal goes Hall, out comes the keeper. She may have just left her foot in there. Potential offside there against Clarabella Hall. It was King who just clattered into Amber Howden. She'll certainly not want to come off in this game. She's had a fantastic performance so far. I think she's going to be okay. Amber Howden just offering her apologies. They do have a keeper on the bench should they need it, and King is not happy. Gracie Mensah Bonsu, the option. The Cherries are going to make a change themselves. Anya Lucas coming off. And number 6, Freya Meadows-Toussaint, is coming on in her place. 20-year-old centre-back, another signing from Real Bedford last season, former Maidenhead United, so would have come against Moneyfields. Katie James, first half substitute for the Cherries, replacing Isla Betts, whose race was run after just 20 minutes. Cherries searching for a goal to get themselves back into this game. It just gets a little bit bitty in the middle of the park. Cole can't keep the ball under control. Haslam searching for Buckingham, the half-time substitute for Moneyfields, coming on in place of Tierney Scott, whose audacious effort got the opening goal. And here comes Hall, and this might be a chance. Bryant, it's an open goal. Westcott will strike, and she's found the back of the net. Cherries right back in this game. Looping strike there from Tilly Westcott. Thought she had it all to do to try and get it over the Moneyfields defender, but she's taken that with aplomb. Unselfish from Bryant, who could have had an effort on goal herself. And they have done really, really well there to halve the deficit. 10 minutes gone in this second half. Moneyfields 2. Cherries 1. Tilly Westcott on the score sheet as they're about to make a couple of changes, the hosts. Looks like Riley Barnett is going to be coming on, the young forward who's been promoted to the first team this season. 4 goals in 9 appearances last season. Not coming on just yet. Is the comeback on for the Cherries. Tilly Westcott has got them back in this game. Well, they have lost out in the middle there. Farah receives it back. Worst possible time to concede straight away. Buckingham towards the back post, and they almost did. Olivia Vendito just careering in at the far stick. Great pick out by Buckingham. Didn't get the connection she wanted. Vendito, already 2 goals to her name this season, and showing why she's a threat in the attacking third as well as being a competent defender. Cherries though have it in the middle, searching for an equaliser now. Westcott just losing out, and then Vendito will go for goal, and that has gone harmlessly wide. I'm not quite sure why she's had an effort from there. Buckingham was ready to be played in as Katie James just got the ball stuck under her feet. Maybe she just saw Vendito that Stowell was off her line. Let off there for the Cherries. Searching for a second goal. Westcott comes back to James, who will strike it over the bar. Much better now from AFC Bournemouth. Well left by Hall. Katie James just getting a little bit too much on that as the ball just bounced off the turf. But this is exactly what Bournemouth would have wanted, as Mia King, again, taking a little bit of time to get back to her feet, and she's going to need some treatment. As I was saying earlier, Gracie Mensah-Bonsu is the keeper on the bench. Won the FA Women's National League Reserves Golden Glove last season, so a little bit of pedigree to replace her between the sticks in case. But at the moment, it is Moneyfields 2, AFC Bournemouth 1 in the Women's National League Cup. Tilly Westcott just a few moments ago with a looping effort similar to that of Tierney Scott in the first half for Moneyfields in terms of distance out from goal. Just getting the arc of the strike absolutely perfect. There was a defender on the line. That certainly makes things interesting for the final half an hour in this game. Of course, it is the group stage now. New format that came into play last season, which means that there'll be no extra time or penalties. Let's just take a look at how the Cherries got themselves back into the game, with Izzy Bryant taking the ball off the goalkeeper. Really unselfish play from her, and it's an excellent left-footed strike from Westcott. Could have easily skewed that one wide or over the bar. It's an excellent controlled effort. And is that the ointment that really kicks Cherries into life in this second half? Puts them on the path to, well, an unlikely recovery. They did dominate the ball in the first half, but they just didn't really create a great deal, especially in open play. Mia King, the Moneyfields keeper, rarely called into action. And Moneyfields have taken their chances on the rare occasion that they have managed to break forward. If there is to be a comeback, it's certainly a fixture that is not without drama in its history. Back in March 2025, quite a ridiculous game between the Cherries and Moneyfields after the original game was called off due to fog. And then the way that the scheduling works was the rematch of that game meant that a win for Bournemouth would have put them just a win away from sealing the title and promotion to the third division at Vitality Stadium. They were 2-0 up in that game, and then Moneyfields got themselves a late, what looked like a consolation strike, but then right at the very end of that game won themselves a penalty, which was spectacularly saved by Erin Foley. Of course, it was Moneyfields that knocked the Cherries out of this competition back in 2024 in a 4-3 match where Albany scored right at the end of extra time. So it's a game that is certainly got its history. It's usually quite tightly contested as well. Kira Haslam just back on her feet. 62 minutes on the clock. Moneyfields 2, AFC Bournemouth 1. It's gone over the top, and well, recovering challenge there by Meadows Tewson, who's recently just entered the fray for Anya Lucas, and now they're over the top, and Hall doesn't get the strike on goal that she would have wanted. Still Katie James will try and bend it into the near corner, but well covered by Mia King. Certainly not the first time that the Moneyfields keeper has just been a little bit eager to come off her line. It's another change for the Cherries with Kyra Robertson coming off. It's Abby Jones who's about to enter the fray. So Robertson off, Jones on. And that is ball clearance from Moneyfields, but a heavy touch allows them to get away with that one, as they just need to be careful at the back here, Cherries, and it's not the clearance that Williams would have wanted. Barnett, Buckingham, out to Tonks. That's a fall for a yellow shirt fortuitously for the Cherries, and now they can break. Westcott not able to find a teammate with that pass, and so Moneyfields will come again. Tonks tries to swivel Jones. It's her first involvement in this game. It's a neat pass. Sophia Farrer might just unlock the Cherries' defence. They want handball. Not going to get that one. Tonks' effort is blocked, and that just takes the sting out of the shot. A lot of cries for handball there, as Sophia Farrer tried to dink it back into a dangerous area. Nice work by Amber Howden as the two 14s came together. Actually looked like it came off the left arm of Scarlett Williams. I think it was quite close into her body, so it would have been a harsh one. It's going to be a corner though for Moneyfields, their second of the game. Becca Tonks to take. Score from their first one. It's looking a little bit precarious, and they're going to score from their second. And they've regained that 2-goal cushion. Cherries couldn't get it clear. And Sophie Phelps has managed to prod it home. The Cherries at 6s and 7s at the back. And just when you thought they might be able to mount a comeback, Moneyfields, 10 minutes later, have given them yet another mountain to climb. Sophie Phelps with the goal. It's Moneyfields 3, Cherries 1. It's the second time they've scored from a corner, and I've mentioned it beforehand, so I think whenever they do get another set piece, I'm just going to shut up for that particular bit. Either way, Cherries do have time on their side, and there will be a fair bit of stoppage at the end, with Mia King going down a couple of times earlier in this half, but they really haven't quite got going in this game, have Bournemouth. Moneyfields are in dreamland with that 2-goal cushion restored. Are we going to have some drama on AFCB TV? It's by ESETS. Moneyfields in search of a fourth. Williams just getting it out of danger that time. Hammock. Sophia Farrer again showing her experience just to nick it off the young fullback, and then winning it again in the middle. Buckingham wins a free kick for her troubles. Is Howden going to go short, or is she going to launch this into the mixer? Goes short to Phelps, who potentially has the match-winning goal. Surin, little shove in the back there. I thought that definitely went out of play for a corner, and considering they're 2 for 2 Moneyfields, Cherries will be absolutely delighted that they've got the rub of the green that time. Williams will bring it out of defence. Nice footwork from Katie James and Young. Good opportunity here for Cherries if they can just capitalise. Still she goes. Tia Young. Being well marshalled by her fellow number 11. Ball into the area. It's not fallen kindly for Izzy Bryant. There's Tewson. Back to Williams. Here comes Jones. Finds Young again. Oh, and it just bounces away. Westcott searching for a second goal and just came away from her as that's a strong challenge at the back, and Buckingham has her pocket picked by Williams, but does well to win the second ball. And here come Moneyfields, but Katie James is there just to clear up any danger. Not being asked there of Jones, manages to keep that one in play. 69 minutes on the clock. And Kira Haslam with a little bit of cramp, sees the happy just to eat up a few seconds. A moment there to forget for Ella Stowell, and she's been lucky in that Moneyfields aren't able to capitalise. And here come the Cherries. Steaming run by Hammock, wins the throw as we enter the final 20 minutes. There is still time to mount a comeback. They are going to go from range. Awkward bounce, but Mia King, who has been in sensational form in this game, absolutely not troubled by that, despite any earlier knock in this half. If the Cherries are to taste defeat, it's not the end of their title defence. Of course, this is the group stage, so they'll have matches against the Southampton Academy and Bournemouth Sports FC to try and progress through to the knockout stages. Of course, if they finish second in the group, depending on the rankings elsewhere, they may have another crack at the National League plate, but they'll be trying to rescue at least a draw from this game as they try and dig out an effort, and it's well claimed by King. Good effort from the edge of the area, but a decent height for the Moneyfields stopper. Lovely ball by Westcott, and Izzy Bryant is just offside. That looked tight. It's worth remembering that this is quite a youthful Cherries side. From the starting 11, the two oldest players on the pitch were 23 years old. Good opportunity for some of the youngsters to get some minutes in their legs at this opening part of the season. It looks like Jenna Markham is going to be coming on in place of the number 7, Izzy Bryant. They need her goals. So the big guns coming in as the Helen Blizzard attempts to rescue this game. The Moneyfields have been fairly resolute, it has to be said, as King almost gets herself in a spot of bother. Might be a little bit awkward for Meadows Towson, and it's not kept in play, so it's going to be corner number 3 for Moneyfields. Well, we know exactly what's happened from the first 2 corners that they've had. Will it be third time lucky for the Cherries in keeping a set piece out of their net? Haslam's already put in a couple of wicked deliveries, so they know they've got danger incoming. Moneyfield searching for a fourth. I think the ball has just hit the top of the net. Kira Haslam, whether she meant it or not, may have been actually going for the far corner. Can't blame her. That's an excellent ball through by Jones, and Young is offside. Again, didn't look like there was a great deal in that one. A couple of opportunities that the Cherries, if they can just hold their runs, they might be able to fashion a chance. As it stands, though, they've a 2-goal deficit to overturn. 15 minutes or so to do it. Hammock. Meadows Towson came on just moments ago. Hall trying to put right after scoring an own goal right on the brink of half-time. An unfortunate header that from her own corner went into the back of her own net. Lena Cole doing really well just to win the ball in the centre of the park. Westcott, who's got the Cherries' only strike, has just been fouled, so free kick opportunity for the Cherries. They've gone short from a lot of these. Is this going to be time for Katie James to whip something into the area? The defenders going up from the back, so Tia Young is the short option. And the Cherries capitalise from a set piece of their own. It's an awkward delivery. Going to come all the way back to the number 9, Buckingham. Tries to set Becca Tonks away down the right hand side, wins a throw for her troubles. And if it does end in defeat for the Cherries tonight, then it's going to be a quick turnaround to as they get themselves back that winning feeling. As is such with such a busy opening period of the season. They face #United on Sunday. They need to focus though on the here and the now. They've got 14 minutes plus, I'd say, a fair amount of stoppage time to get themselves a point, which would be a really good result considering how this game has gone. Very much been a mixture of youth and experience. If they can get the ball up to Jenna Markham, then they may be able to fashion a goal or two. There's going to be a free kick to Moneyfield's Becca Tonks, the latest who potentially may need some treatment. A number of stoppages that there have been in this second half, it might be a case that someone might need to put 50p in the meter if the floodlights are going to conk out. Farah. find a yellow shirt that time. Nice win by Westcott, just can't quite find Markham out on that left-hand side. And here goes Tonks, searching for fourth for Moneyfields. Being ushered away by Williams, and that's excellent defending. Keep that one in play of the Cherries, but it's only going back to a yellow shot. Farah, Buckingham. Offside flag eventually goes up as we tick over into the final 10 minutes of normal time in this opening group stage fixture in the FA Women's National League Cup. Of course, Cherries trying to defend their title after winning the competition last year. The title defence not beginning the way that they would have wanted. Jones. If Cherries can just get themselves a goal in the next few minutes, then you never know what the end of this game may hold for them, as Vendito is just under a bit of pressure from Markham. King, who's been so solid between the sticks, getting a decent connection on that clearance, and here come Moneyfields. A fourth would surely wrap things up beyond all reasonable doubt. Good recovery from Meadows Tewson. Hammock. Markham. Neat control by Young. That is really nice control. Leaves it for Jenna Markham. Can't strike it either side of King. Comfortable save in the end. Lovely flick by Tia Young. Markham there just pulling rank and going for goal. No surprises there from the Cherries number 9. Oh, here's the Moneyfields number 9. Kaylee Buckingham. Young. Hall. Young had made the run, but instead goes back to Jones as other players down in the middle. It might be Sophia Farrett. Stream Surin, who's actually on the deck, is Hammock. Or was it back? Markham was there, sliced all the way. It just ricochets into the gloves of King. Just skimmed off the turf. A couple of air kicks there from Olivia Vendito. Not quite sure which way the ball was going to go. A bit like a pinball machine there. And the number 24, Moneyfields Dream Surin, is going to need a bit of treatment, and we're going to have yet another stoppage here. So there will be time if they can just get a goal relatively soon. It's a bit of a tall ask, that's for sure, and Cherries just haven't really stamped their authority at all at any point on this game. But football is a funny sport, and as they say, a 2-goal lead is the most dangerous. As I say, quick turnaround for the Cherries on Sunday, where they host #United. Games against Bournemouth Sports and Lewis also coming up as we tick into September. It's been a disappointing night so far for Helen Blezard's side, and going into the half-time interval, 2 goals down. Really, it's difficult to ask whether it was against the run of play, but because there wasn't really a great deal of dominance in terms of chances created, but certainly in terms of possession in the first half, Cherries had a great deal more of the ball, but it was an audacious effort from Tierney Scott that got things going. Let's just have a look at how the game has unfolded so far. Here was that goal from Tierney Scott, who decided just to have a go from range, and unfortunately for the Cherries, Ella Stowell was miles off her line. And then just before half-time, really unfortunate for Clarabella Hall to see that corner spoon off her head into the back of the net. They did get one back 10 minutes into the second half, with Tilly Westcott doing excellently well to steer the ball home. But it was 2 from 2 corners for the hosts, as it just a bouncing ball wasn't dealt with, and Sophie Phelps was able to steer it home to restore the 2-goal lead for Moneyfields, who do lead by 3-1. 5 minutes left, plus a heavy amount of stoppage time. And there's a foul in the middle on Sophia Farrett, and they'll be more than happy just to eat away at a few more seconds. Phelps searching for Riley Barnett. Knows how to play for a Cherries throw. Meadows Tewson. Cole. To Abby Jones now, as they try and search for a goal to make this a bit of a grandstand finish. Young. All there for support. Offside flag stays down. Jones almost gets it through to Markham, and Farah gets it clear up towards halfway. There's Tewson. Markham. It's found Young. Screaming for support. Jones is there. Back to Young. That's ricocheted out of play, and I think it may have came off Jones last for a goal kick. That's on the way of Cherries instead of apologies. It's another corner to Bournemouth, their 4th of the game. Can they make this one count? 4 minutes of normal time to go. Comes off the head of Hall, who unfortunately didn't header it goalwards that time. It has gone the way of Moneyfields. 3 minutes of normal time to go. And then the referees changed their mind, so it is actually going to be a Cherries throw. Markham. Cole. Back out to Hammock. Was gambling there at the front post. As the seconds tick by on what is looking ever more likely to be a disappointing start to the Cherries Women's National League Cup campaign. unless something remarkable happens, it is going to be an opening night defeat. James to Jones. Can they do anything just to change the end of this story? Is there going to be one more twist? Not necessarily with a throw-in like that.
Bye-bye.
Surin. Tonks almost gets it through to Buckingham as Moneyfields, well, they want to cap off a wonderful night with a fourth if they can. And that's a great ball in behind. Hall, out comes King. Hall gets to the ball first, but there's no one there to get on the loose. Second effort. Cherries have struggled to hold their line when going through for those kind of passes. The offside flag has been raised on many occasions, but that time Hall did hold her run well. Unfortunately, she's been up against the keeper who, aside from being lobbed early on in the second half, hasn't done a great deal wrong. Final 30 seconds or so of normal time. We'll find out just how much is going to be added on at the end of this game. Moneyfield's just not able to keep it in. Phelps got the host's third goal. It's her fifth season at the club, already over half a century of appearances, and how important is that goal going to be in her Moneyfields career? As just knocking it around the back. Have they got one more attack just to give Moneyfields something to think about in these closing stages? Those are going to have a throw, which Olivia Vendito, marauding fullback, will go over to take. Of course, Moneyfields competing in the National League Division 1 Southwest. Got games against Marine Academy Plymouth, Southampton FC Women's under-21s, Gwalia United as well. Markham came on as a second half substitute. He's got far too behind that one. It's gone harmlessly out of play for a goal kick. Hashtag United up next for Helen Blezard's side. That's on Sunday. All matches against Bournemouth Sports and Lewis. They try and better last season's third place finish in the table. 14 wins from 22 games, of course, finishing 7 points behind champions Watford. Did reach the fourth round of the Women's FA Cup last season. That was a historic run, of course, losing to eventual champions Manchester City. Didn't end up being 6-0, but such is the gulf between the two sides. They managed to beat Fulham, Leyton Orient and Millbrook in that run. 23 goals scored in that FA Cup campaign. They do have 2 wins from 2 in their opening league matches this season. Jenna Markham, Izzy Watson, Tia Young on the score sheet in matches against AFC Wimbledon and weekend's 2-1 victory over Cheltenham Town. They are going to taste defeat this evening, but of course it is the group stage, so plenty of time to put it back and get through to the knockout stage of the National League Cup. Is Buckingham just holding the ball in the corner. Not doing the best job of it because it's going to be a Cherries throw. They're happy just to eat away at a few seconds. We've already had nearly 3 minutes of additional time. 3-1 they lead. And Sophia Farah, quick feet, looking for a fourth, trying to get through. In the end, just runs into trouble, so it looks like it's going to be another corner for Moneyfields, their fourth, as they search for goal number 4. Are they just going to hold it in the corner? They are. As Abby Jones just goes straight through the back of Kaylee Buckingham. And they do have a throw. Time ticking away. Just a little bit scrappy. The inevitable cramp that is healed after just a couple of seconds. As they continue to go for the corner, but they've gone too soon. Plenty for Cherries fans to look forward to, of course, the men's big day tomorrow with the Europa League draw. Face some of the big guns, likes of AC Milan, Juventus, Bayern Leverkusen, Olympiacos. Big season for the Cherries. European football at Vitality Stadium for the first time. The under-21s beginning their first ever campaign in the Premier League 2 with a fantastic 2-1 win against Chelsea. The women hoping to try and get back into this game with the remaining seconds that they have. Markham, industrious, but unfortunately no end product on that occasion. Played 5 additional minutes, can't imagine there'll be too much more. Williams. Well dealt with by Haslam. As the clock ticks down closer to, it's going to be a big win for Moneyfields. Meadows Tewson. Cherries has fashioned at least one more attack in this game. Hall back out to Young. Not on that occasion. Jones might just open up here if she can get it through to Markham. Goes to Hall. Maybe should have just left that for the Cherries number 9. Markham was just making the run through the middle, and I think that may have gone all the way through to her. As Hall just tries to make amends, but ends up being thrown to the deck. Cherries still have it though. Do they have one more attack in them? Westcott, who's got Bournemouth's goal. Hammock. Crosses blocks, goes out of play for a corner. Into the 7th minute of additional time. Here comes his delivery. That one's cleared. And that is that. Proceedings brought to an end, and it's a disappointing start to Cherries' defence of the Women's National League Cup title. They've fallen to a 3-1 defeat at Moneyfields at the John Jenkins Stadium. A performance where just never really quite got going, and Moneyfields took their chances when they got them. Helen Blazard's side not able to get into much of a rhythm. There were some spectacular strikes though in amongst the goals. So full time here at the John Jenkins Stadium. It has finished Moneyfields 3, Bournemouth 1. Let's take a look back at the best of the action.